Special edition episode today. Got my man Craig here, drowning our sorrels. Sonia recently made some sorrel juice, and so what better way to celebrate the idea of bringing in the new year with some sorrel. Craig in the hot seat today, episode 3 of setting smart goals for the upcoming school year. You ready? Just rapid fire, just gonna throw the questions out, you throw out the answers. We'll all have a Merry Christmas. Now with a nice shade cloth that doesn't smack you in the face. You're welcome. Craig, here we go. Loud and clear, hands away from your face, fingers out of the mouths, and charge. First off, right off the bat, what are you most excited about for the new school year? Going into the 9th grade.
Get better grades and and try to not disrupt the class.
Disrupt?
Yeah, disrupt class.
So, you're excited. I guess you could say you're excited for a new opportunity, a fresh start, new grade, new teachers, I imagine, maybe some new friends, and a new chance, yes, to have a restart, to do better. Cool. Is there anything that you're a little nervous about? Do you know what nervous means?
Yeah.
How would you define nervous?
Like you're shy.
Like worried.
Like I was afraid, want to talk about it.
Right. Is there anything that you're worried about? Is there anything that, okay, new school year, I know what happened last year, I may be worried about past problems with students, with your peers, some past issues coming back up now that you're going to be seeing them again, maybe some issues with teachers, having a stereotype about who Craig is based on his past behaviors. Any of that potentially bothering you? No?
Like every teacher them talk about me.
Are you worried about that at all? Because as a teacher, I know that when we have a new group of students coming in, oftentimes if there are any outliers or any students that teachers have concern about, whether that's academics or behavior, they'll tell us, teachers from the previous year, be like, hey, by the way, this person, this happened, or this person, you might want to watch out for this. And so, yeah, are you worried your reputation is going to be carried with you in the next school year at all?
Kind of.
Maybe a little bit? Okay. And we have a chance to prove those reputations wrong, right? With the new start to the new year. What's one thing you hope will be different from last year? One thing you hope will be different from last year. This new fall season, one thing that you're hoping that is going to be not continuing or not the same from last year.
Do more studying and work.
Okay, so more focus maybe? More studying. So Craig has been joining his bros and Andre guys and doing some schoolwork Monday through Friday, a worksheet a day, front and back, on a variety of subjects, and he's been, while challenged to get it done the day of, he has fulfilled his obligation and making sure it has gotten completed. And with the looming threat of cell phones being taken away, he's been properly motivated. And I think with continuing having that cell phone leverage for the school year is going to help us, knowing that we get our responsibilities done first, and then we sit on our phone and play on our phone and talk on our phone. Yeah. All right, here we go, diving in. So if you could make, I think we kind of piggybacked off this a little bit, if you could make one big improvement this year, what would it be? One thing you want to improve on?
Reading and maths.
Reading and maths? Okay. And why do you want to work on your reading and maths?
I'm not so good at it.
So you know that it's an area that you struggle in. Do you have any peer pressures from your brothers at all? Knowing that you are the oldest of all of them, and I don't know, I'm just trying to imagine what it would be like being in your shoes, knowing that they are continuing to challenge themselves and they are continuing to improve. My goal for you, obviously being with us and doing the academics that we're doing, is that, there's a little bit of peer pressure, a little sibling rivalry, like, hey, if my brothers can do it, and my brothers are getting better, then maybe I should be getting better too. Is that maybe part of it, or does that help at all, do you think? Knowing that your brothers are also trying to improve, does that help your case, or is that something that doesn't really bother you?
Thanks, they might try. See, not try wood.
They're trying, yeah. And you being the oldest of the three of them, do you feel like you have a responsibility to also contribute and make an effort?
Make an effort.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Make an effort.
Yeah. Okay. How are we going to know if you get better at your reading and maths? How are we going to measure that? What are some things that we can look at by the end of the school year, come December, that's going to say, yep, Craig got better, or nope, Craig didn't improve? What are some things that we can look at?
Your grade level.
Your grades. Anything else? No? Well, outside of school, we could actually give you a reading test to see where you're at. You know where you currently are, and I could generate some tests to see what you understand, and the biggest thing for you is making sure that you actually take the time to try and sound out the words and to understand what you're reading, as opposed to skipping over things and trying to get done as quickly as possible. Okay. Can we also look at any of your project-based assessments, your PBAs?
We do them. We do them.
You do them, right? But not more so than just doing them, Craig. Like, I want you to be able to explain to me what it is that you've done, why you've done it, and what you've learned from doing them. Right? Like, it's great to turn in the project, but if you can't identify, like, hey, this is what this project was for, this is what I learned from this project, because do you have to present your PBAs in front of class at all?
Some of them.
Some of them? Okay.
Some subject.
And why do you think the teachers have you present them?
If you know them.
To see if you know what it is you're talking about, right? Okay. So, getting into the specific part, Craig, to get better at reading and math, what exactly are you going to do to make it happen? How are you going to get better at reading and math?
Right.
What are some things you're going to have to do over the next several months to get better at reading and math?
Focus more.
What does that mean?
Right. Put on your phone more. Put on your phone more.
Okay. So, focus, remove distractions. So when it's time to work on reading and work on math in the evening time, we put our phone down. Right. It is not something that's meant to, unless we're going to use it to help, to research, that's fine. But I know it is a distraction with all of the different things that you have on it. Okay.
So what you gonna do? Like reading for Monday, maths for Tuesday, reading for Wednesday.
Right.
And good.
That's one way we could approach it. My concern is that you are going to have homework from school. And something that I know that we've struggled with towards the end of last year was Craig getting home and Craig throwing his bag down and Craig saying, I did work, I had tests, I didn't write anything.
Tests too.
Right. But my goal for you and your brothers when you come home each day is to be able to explain to me what you did in class, what you learned from what you did in class, and what are some of the things that you struggled with, so I know what to give you when it comes to any extra assignments. Over the summer we've been looking at math and reading, yes, and we've been divvying them up. I want to make sure we get an equal amount, and whether that means separating it by day or doing a little bit of each day, it's going to really depend on what you have for homework, because that's obviously the most important, making sure you understand your homework assignment prior to doing any other extra activities. And honestly, Craig, a lot of your homework is reading, right? Like, even if it's a science class or social studies class, in order to learn the content, you actually got to read the words that are in the book to understand what has happened with either the science experiment or the process, or what has happened with the events that took place in any social studies that you're currently looking at. Like, a lot of those things are actually testing your reading while you're learning the content about the subject. And you and I both know, and it's no secret, like, your reading is not at the grade level it needs to be at for you to fully understand the textbooks that they give you. And so we have to best strategize. How can we take the text that they're providing you that you're supposed to read and make it understandable? And that's going to become from questions from you. I want you to be able to look at a page, try to gain your understanding from it on your own, and then come and say, hey, I didn't understand this part, I didn't understand this word, and I'll be happy to help you with that. But that initiative needs to come from you, right? So I want to get back in the habit of also you coming home, talking about what it is that you did. We don't have to run home and sit and stare at the books for 3 hours. No, I want you to at least give me a little overview of what happened for the day. Then have a little relaxation and entertainment time, and then we dive into making sure we get things accomplished before, obviously, the evening comes to an end. But who needs to be motivated in order to make that happen? You. That's 100%, Craig. Like, the most frustrating thing that I have about Craig, and you already know this, is like, you are your own worst enemy. You are the only person in your way when it comes to learning. And there are times that the motivation to learn is not there when there's all these other things that you could be doing, whether it's with your friends, with your phone, playing games. Like, it has to come from you, right? You're 15 now, going into 9th grade. We're running out of time. We have a few short years left, and it's going to go by fast. So I will continue to try to motivate you as best as I can, and I hope that can motivate yourself as well. How are we going to keep track of your progress? How are we going to keep track of knowing whether or not you are working towards this goal? Not just at the end looking at the report card, but throughout the next several weeks and months. How are we going to know whether or not you're staying responsible with what you said you're going to do?
Maybe schoolwork.
Okay, so we can track whether you get your schoolwork done. How do we do that?
When I book if the teacher they marking and grading.
Okay, look at your schoolwork from school. How else do we track your responsibilities at home? What do you put on the board?
Work, do.
You put the work, or you put that you completed? Which one?
Complete.
Okay, so the chore chart, even though it's a chore chart, part of your chores, part of your responsibility is academics. And so making sure that we can track that by, if you get your stuff completed each day throughout the week, obviously you get compensated for that. But it's also a way for us to say, okay, he stepped up and did what he was supposed to. And what makes you think you're going to be able to get better at reading and math? Why do you think you're going to reach that goal? What do you think you're going to improve?
Read better. Read better.
The goal is to read better, but why do you think you're going to read better?
Like, know a word.
Craig, the question is, and let me just clarify. No, you're on the right track. Yes, we want you to read better. We want you to know what the words mean. But why do you think you're going to be successful? Why do you think you can do it?
Me can do it.
Okay, so you believe in yourself. Have you made some progress since living here? Have you gotten better? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you know you've gotten better?
Math facts.
Okay, definitely the math facts are getting there. So we can continue to be successful, and you're going to keep your confidence by the gains you've already made, and hopefully we can continue to make. How is being better at reading or math going to help you later in life? After you're out of school? What good does it do to know how to read and math and do math?
So no people can judge. No people can judge you.
People can't what?
They can't judge you. Say you can't read it. I mean, thief.
You're gonna have to clarify. I don't know. You're speaking
Me say.
rather soft, Craig. Speak up.
Me say let me say again.
I think it's along the lines of people aren't going to judge you. People aren't going to take advantage of you. People aren't going to shame you because of your lack of academic skill. So, yeah, this is a, interesting world we live in. And if you don't know how to do math properly, especially if you go out and buy stuff like we've already practiced a bit, what's important when you give somebody money? What is important to do?
You give somebody money.
Yeah, you buy something, you give them the money, and you get something back. What do you get back?
The change.
The change. So what's important to do?
Change important.
The change is important, but what do you need to do as an individual?
Check it.
Yes, you need to be able to check your change and make sure that people don't take advantage of you. You want to drive one day?
Yeah.
Your own vehicle, your own car, on the open road? What do you think reading is going to help you do?
Sign up a paper.
Hmm?
Sign a license.
Well, yeah, you got to take a reading test, a driver's test to be able to even get on the road. And once you pass that, then you're on the road. And what is reading going to do?
Reading.
Yeah, what do you see when you're driving? What are things that you see around the road that it might be
sign.
important to know how to read?
Sign.
Okay. Signs, yes. So to be able to function, what about when you're trying to go shopping and you're looking for certain items and you have it on your list? Are you going to need to know what those items are and where to find them? And when you're budgeting, Craig, when you're talking about money and you're thinking about things that you want to save up for, like a car or like a new phone or fancy clothes, you need to make sure you can track your money and do the maths appropriately so that you have the right amount of money in order to be able to actually buy the stuff. So by looking at all of this, Craig, let's start small. What is the first small step you can take before school even starts in order to know that we're going to put ourselves in the right position to be successful? What are some things we can be doing right now?
Work.
Okay, so we're doing work right now. Did you get books already, Craig? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Have you opened any of those books?
Yeah, me open them at bookstore.
You open them at the bookstore?
Did I read?
Okay.
And then I say, guess you want.
Yeah, and then you brought it home, and then what happened?
Me look in there again and then me lucky.
What's the title of the book?
The Pacha, you know.
Okay, so you have a few books now, and you're going to be getting your rent. Did you get your rental books from school? No. When do we get those? First day?
You make them look at it right now because we're not using.
Well, that's up to you, Craig. I don't know how that works, how your school operates, but you have a few books now. You could crack open and begin to start looking at what that material is. That is for sure. And those are very expensive books, so I hope that you read them. Those are like $4,500 a piece. Who are some people in your life that's going to help you stay on track to accomplish this goal of getting better at math and reading? Who are some people around you that are going to help you stay on track to get better at math and reading?
Yeah, soon.
Okay, who else? Who else can help you?
Not even myself.
You can help yourself, that's for sure. You don't have any friends that you maybe could help and ask questions if you needed answers?
Yeah, here friends.
What about teachers?
Teacher too.
Yeah, Craig, you need to be proactive. You need to make sure that you voice the issues that you're having or the struggles that you're having. Because if you don't talk, and you don't say, hey, I didn't understand this, or hey, could I get extra help with this, or is there a resource that you could provide me? Like, teachers got a lot of students. And if you're being the disruptive one in class, I guarantee you they're not going to want to spend the extra time. So your behavior is going to definitely play a part in that. No?
About 10 people in my class.
Craig, I'm used to having kids of like 30. So the fact that there's only 10, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to control your behavior and focus on what you need to. But that's up to you. What might make your goal hard to accomplish, difficult to accomplish? What are some things that are going to come up throughout this fall semester that could make it challenging for you to accomplish your goal of getting better at math and reading?
Repeat again.
What are some things that could cause you not to achieve this goal? What are some things that life happenings, things that are going to come up that could make it difficult for you to be successful? We've kind of talked a little bit already about distractions, like your phone, your priorities. You know, there are times that you get home late from school, 5, 6 o'clock, because of
Like 4 o'clock.
there are times that you come home later than that.
Almost football match.
Right, because you choose to go entertain yourself with something else that's going on. And so, yeah, there are several distractions. We could say your phone, we could say your friends, sports. Are you going to do cadets again?
I'm not doing join under 16.
Football team?
Yeah.
Okay.
I buy one football shoes on Amazon.
Well, you make the team. We can see about making that happen. What about cadet?
You can't let me say I can't.
Okay. And those things take time and they take a lot of energy. And you come home from a cadet boot camp or a sports practice and you're tired. Last thing you might want to do is crack open a book and do some more work. So we need to find that balance of what's going to work best for you so that those distractions and other activities don't interfere too much when it comes to, you know, improving on this goal that you have. All right, last one. If you get better at your math and reading, as evidenced by your grades and by some of the tests that we'll be giving you, how are we going to celebrate? What should we do at the end of the year, around December or even January, to acknowledge your efforts and say, way to go, you did it, let's go do this? What is something that you would like to do? We don't have to do anything. I can give you a thumbs up and say good job. But there's nothing you would like to do to reward yourself for accomplishing this goal.
Go on beach.
Okay, we'll go to the beach to celebrate.
I want Margaritaville.
Or Margaritaville or Mystic Mountain. I am not making any promises, but I will keep them in mind as we budget this next few months.
I will travel.
Well, we have travel plans for next year, Craig, but we'll see about that. All right. If we got to make a follow-up episode to this at the end of the year, at the end of the semester, what do you think the title of the episode is going to be?
To make one title.
You don't have to do it right now. I'm just saying, based on how these next few months are going to play out, what is the title that you think is going to be appropriate for the next episode that we sit back down here and look at how you did? Do you think it's going to be a positive title, a negative, maybe disappointing title? What kind of title would you imagine would go on the episode?
It's a negative for... No.
Maybe the titles mean I know. Craig don't know. I don't know. I don't know either. I'm hoping. I'm gonna call. You know what I'm gonna say, Craig? If I were to name it, I would gonna say A Semester of Hope, because we've been in this situation before, and I do not want, like you don't want, for judgments to be made based on past performance. But if that's all we have to go off of, I have my doubts of whether or not this is going to be a successful semester. I'm hoping for the best. I'm rooting for you. I know we don't always get along and don't always get to agree, but I want you to be successful because there's only a few years left that you have here, and I'm not a babysitter after you're out of school. So we will continue to try and do the best that we can to make sure that we can be as successful as possible. If you're going to sum up your goal in just one word, what is one word that sticks out to you? Just one word that would sum up everything that you want to accomplish.
Do my best. Try my
Okay.
best.
Best. I like it. On a scale from 1 to 10, last question. How confident are you right now that you will be successful in getting better at math and reading by the end of December? 1 being not at all, 10 being super confident, nothing gonna get in your way.
7.
7. Okay. Why a 7?
Think me I will do better.
Right, but why not a 10? Why a 7? What are some things you're worried about?
No, it will not work. You know,
That you have some doubts? That, okay. I see you at a 7. I'm gonna say also a 7 because of some of the things I've mentioned already, because of past performance. And Craig saying he's gonna do something and then not following through. However, this is a new school year, a new slate, and I will stay at a 7 with you, and we will see how the next several months go. Any questions? No? All right, we've been drowning our sorrows. Craig's got his goals in place. We'll see what happens. Craig, final word for the episode.
Thanks for watching and subscribe and like the video.
All right, I'm going to tell Craig thanks for washing because he washed his clothes today. Thanks for washing and watching. Craig, good luck.